dun, dun, dun. Let's just try this. I'll share my eCam, right? That's good. Nice. What's up, guys? I think we are back.
Bro. All right, we are back, you guys. Guys, so sorry about this, but this is gonna change
Yeah.
this up. We should be.
So it looks like Kazi's connection, guys, is having a little bit of issues. If it does cut out, guys, don't worry. We're going to go through this entire thing for you guys, so nothing is going to get lost or missed. You guys are going to have the full clone, and we're going to go through all of this stuff. So do not freak out, guys. I'm just getting everything on the screen, and then we can go ahead and get started, guys. So let's do it.
Starting soon, and if we need to go, okay, Sunny will be there to guide you. But keep going, Sunny.
Yeah, Kazi, I was just thinking, shall we maybe, if you could possibly somehow just zip the code right now, send it to me on Slack. I'll open it on VS Code, and it'll be much quicker. We'll do it that way, and we'll just carry on. Because right now, in case the connection drops, we're gonna lose everything that we've done here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. In the meantime, guys, let's go ahead and fire off some questions that you're interested about the challenge. Let us know who's here, and we apologize for this connection stuff, guys. It just happens when we go live sometimes, and it's a pain, but it's going to be fine. Let's go.
Yeah. Like the game, sometimes it just happens, and there's really not much we can do about it. Even you don't want this to happen, of course. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Let me see, guys. I think it's pretty clear now. It should be pretty clear for you guys. Let's go ahead and see. So we've got Lakshmi Go says, hi, Cousin Sunny. What's up? YouTube is not working at all. So guys, the best thing you guys could do is definitely, if you are coming from YouTube or you saw that things weren't working. So Kazi has come back as build a WhatsApp clone with the man Slack. So you just need to go ahead and change that name again.
All right, we will. Guys, can you name on YouTube again? Okay, Naz says it's done. Beautiful.
Nice.
So yeah, change the name again, but I think YouTube should be uploading the previous ones, even if it crashes.
Yep. Okay. So we should have everything on
right now.
Nice. Awesome, guys. So we are back. Right, we are back. Nice. So everyone should be rejoining if it's all working, guys. Let us know where you're at right now. Are you actually, I mean, this might actually work out well for some of you guys, because you guys might be able to actually catch up with us with what's happening. And even if we do, I think the connection may drop on Kazi's end. So it seems to like, it looks like we're having a little bit of problems with the connection. But guys, if your energy is real, and if your energy is strong enough, then we can crush this kind of stuff. This is hard. Guys, if we can't handle a few connection issues, then how are we going to handle debugging, right? So this is what happens when you code. This is what we got to get used to. This stuff will happen, but we will conquer it. We will overcome it, and we will crush this stuff, guys. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just getting the file right now. Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you, dude.
Okay. So my screen is frozen, but it's okay. I can still talk. My voice is still here. It still send out signals and good energy. Hopefully you guys are a good energy in the comments. If you are, let's go. The file is there, Sunny. Let's go, bro. I just dropped the zip file. You should be good to go, and we should be back on track. No problem.
Exactly, guys. I am hustling and getting this zip file up for you guys. Guys, it's
when I look at my internet, it says 700 down, like download speed 700 megabits per second, and then like upload is like 35. Just like your connection is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just trying to unzip this. Okay, it's just unzipping now. All right, bear with us, guys. Once we get
Google went down, but we're up.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Google went down, guys. Firebase went down. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good. Right, it's almost done, guys. I'll share with you guys the progress right now. We've got 1,000 people back on the stream. Thank you guys for being patient. It's all good, guys.
You guys are such champs. I can't believe that you guys are still here. Like, thank you guys. That is crazy. Just so much love. And guys, smash that like button if you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Like, let's send this video out to as many people as we can. That's the only way we can recover at this point. We lost like freaking, 10,000 people watching it, but it's okay. We can recover from it.
Exactly. We can come back from this, guys. It's all good. Right. So I'm going to quickly pull in my code right now, guys. Bear with me. I'm opening up my downloads. So let's go CD downloads, and the file is the 8th of September. There we go. Boom. Code insiders. That's a little trick for you guys if you don't know this trick. Inside the terminal. So I have the code open, guys. Let's go. Let's carry on at full speed, guys. Who's excited? Drop it in the comments. Let's recover this and save this situation, guys. So let's go. Kazi, it's so jokes, man. You froze in such a funny position.
And it's perfect. Perfect. You can just use that as my image. I mean, I'm still there. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I mean, it's the perfect thing to freeze.
Exactly, dude. It's the perfect thing to freeze. Right, guys. So here, let's hop back into the code. So what we were doing previously, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for you guys so that you guys can see this. And I'm going to go ahead and also pull up the actual clones next to the app so we can go ahead and see this in a very visual way. So it's very simple for you guys to go ahead and see. I'm also going to go ahead and pull the actual demo of the app because we're going to use this for reference when we're coding. So this is the app, and I'm going to go ahead, and if you guys haven't already, you need to do npm start. So npm start like so. And guys, to be honest, this would actually give a lot of you guys the chance to catch up on the build. So use that time that you lost to go ahead and catch up and get caught up to the point that we're at right now. So I'm just going ahead and installing the modules because I got Kazi's files sent over to me. So that we're doing it on this machine, and that should be done in just a sec. But what we were doing, guys, is we were working on this right here. So we were working on the Amazon header. So this thing right here at the top. Let's go ahead, and it's just installed. So we're going to do npm start, and boom, guys, we are back. We are back. We've got 1,200 people. Okay, what is that? I have no idea. Anyway. God damn it, dude. The demo gods are evil today.
Oh, dude, it's all good, bro. Like, as many challenges that you can throw on us. Now it's everything.
Exactly. Firebase went down. Something else went down. We got this shit. Exactly, guys.
Good, bro.
Exactly. And look, we've got people with the energy. Like, nothing can stop us. That's right, guys. Nothing can stop us. Exactly, guys. Let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and make this super big right now so you guys can see everything. And there we go. So you guys should be able to see everything clearly. Let me know if you can't in the comments, but I think that should be clear right now. So with that said, let's go ahead and carry on. So we've got the header component at the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump inside of that. And inside the header component, guys, we are going to go ahead and check out. So I'm just pulling up some notes. So we've got everything available. So here. So what we were doing right now is we were actually focusing on this, guys. We built this part of the search, right? So with the search, we actually had the header search input, and the header search icon. We styled it to get it looking like this. So in case you guys missed what we did there, I'm going to go ahead and go into header.css. And here is what we had. We had the header search, which was the container. So this is the container for everything. It was display flex1, which flex1 actually went ahead and gave us this, where it's spread out to the rest of the Flex1 basically says that it wants it to stretch as big as it can go. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do the right hand side. So right now you can actually see what's over here. But if I go ahead and zoom in, you can see it says hello guest, sign in, all that beautiful stuff. I want that to look like this. Okay. So that's the end goal. And that's where we're at right now. So, I mean, it looks pretty close, but we're going to pretty much get it to that finish line and get it looking perfect, guys. We have 1,400 people back. Thank you so much, guys, for giving us that chance to get over this problem, and we're going to keep crushing it for you guys. So, oh god, got some fly. Okay, we're going to keep on crushing it for you guys. So let's go ahead, and we've got the div over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have so for each of these header options, I'm going to start styling them as such, as needed. So the first one, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say header option. So header underscore option, like so. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually go ahead and find my styles for this. I'm going to go ahead and give the following to this. I'm going to say display flex. And what I'm going to do, just to make it extremely easy, because right now you can't actually see that text very easily. You see on this one, it's white. So let's go ahead and actually give that white color right now. So I'm going to say the color should also be white, right? So for now, let's give the color of white. I'm going to say display flex, and we are going to say a flex direction column, margin left 10 pixels, margin right 10 pixels, color white. So you see right now it's squashed, right? Everything is squashed up. And the reason why this is because we need to target the head and nav, and we need to make this responsive. So I'm going to go ahead, target the head and nav, and let's go over to head and nav here. I'm going to say display flex and justify content space evenly. So what this will do is, if we save this now, you see that it actually went ahead, and because we've set the rules of this image, we've set the rules of this container right here, so the search container, and then the nav container, all of them are abiding by flex rules. So what that means is, guys, is that it's going to equally share that space between whatever is inside. So now you can see it's starting to look a little bit more like the finished product, right? So we're almost getting there, guys. We're almost getting there. Well, the next bit we're going to do is we are going to target the option line 1. So we had here header option line 1, option line 2. For option line 1, we can go ahead and do the following. We can say target header option line 1, and then we can do the following. So flies. Okay, header option line 1, and here we've got a font size of 10 pixels. So here we are going to do a font size of 10 pixels like so, and then we're going to save, and then we're also going to do an option line 2. So here Edge Risa says, you get them girls. Guys, keep coding. Oh man, it's so funny. I got that girl. I not got them girls. That girl. All right, so font size 13 pixels, font weight of 800. Kazi, are you still there?
Of course, bro. I'm here in spirit. I'm like I'm just like this floating energy now coming from the dead. Just
so funny. Someone wrote, it's spooky when Kazi is so quiet and not moving around, but we love his smile.
Wait, somebody said they love my mouth.
Oh man. Somebody said Kazi breathe, man.
All right, I'm here. Don't worry, guys. I am breathing. Just I got a very high quality noise gate on, but you know.
It's all good, guys. We're all good. Exactly. Right. So we have the Amazon clone. We have
that Amazon nav bar is looking clean. It literally looks like the Amazon nav bar.
Exactly. It's looking clean, guys. Now, I saw somebody say, what is the font family? We didn't actually change the font, so keep it as it is, and everything will work correctly, and it will work as you expect. So the final thing, guys, is we want that basket icon. So this one on the right, that nice little basket icon, to go ahead and add that in. What we're going to do is the final header option needs to be added. So the final header option that we're interested in here is this one over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a div. So I'm going to say div of header basket option. Oops, like so. Option basket, like that. And inside of here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shopping basket icon from Material UI. So this we actually need to import. So what I can do is I can click on the end of the name, and I can do Control Spacebar. And oh, my trick's not working. Okay, so sometimes it doesn't work. So what you need to do is manually go to the top and go ahead and do your typical import. So I'm importing this from Material UI. And then we are going to have the next part of this. So this actually needs to be, oh yes, we're going to have this. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a span. And this one, guys, is going to have the following class name. So it's going to have 2 class names, this one. So I'm going to add the following one. So it's going to have and this will say 0 for now. And what we're basically putting here is this one right here, guys. So we're focusing on that 0. Now this has 2 class names. It has header option line 2, and it has header basket count. And this has a space bar between it, guys. So a space between it. So you see there is a space between the 2 things. Okay. So make sure you do that. And this is because we're applying 2 different class names to this element at the top. So we need to go ahead and style this stuff right here. Now, what we're going to do is first go ahead and target the option basket. So I'm going to go ahead and say header option basket, go into my CSS, And let's check what needs to change. So for the option basket, I'm going to say display flex and align item center. Do that. And we can see I'm actually going to change the color of it right now because we can't actually see anything with that. So color white. And now you can see we've got this. So this is going to be important for later, guys, because we want this to be dynamic. So if we go ahead and check the actual app, you guys can actually see if I add to the basket, notice how it actually goes ahead and updates over here. Okay, so you can actually see that it updates over in the top corner. So if I go ahead and click and add some more items to the basket, it goes ahead and updates to the basket as such, right? So that's going to give us a clean look and feel to the app. So with that, we're going to carry on. We've got the basket looking a bit cleaner, and then what we're going to do is we're also going to go ahead and target this header basket count. So let's go back to our CSS. Let's zoom out of this page so we can see. Actually, let's keep it zoomed in for now because that's kind of clean. And then we're going to go ahead and give it a margin left and a margin right of 10 pixels. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say target the basket count, which is actually the span here. And we're going to give it a margin left of 10 pixels and a margin right of 10 pixels. Okay. Now, if we refresh, we should be able to see everything is looking pretty clean. Okay. So that is a clean finished header bar, right? So that's looking really, really clean. And what we want is, right now it says hello guest, but the end goal would be when you sign in, it will say hello Sunny or hello Kazi or whatever you're signed in as. Okay, so it's going to be really, really crucial to have this header looking nice and clean. Guys, I also want to stress that, look, it's sticky. So as we scroll down, it sticks to the top of the web page. So it's a very, very clean, very, very clean implementation that we've done right now. So with that said, let me know if you're actually following to this point, and if you're not, it's completely fine. So make sure, guys, remember, as we said, keep the energy high. Even sometimes just watching this stuff, watching the content, and then following it afterwards is more important, I would say. So make sure you follow this. Keep optimistic and
pattern recognition. This is how people get so good at things, even if you just watched it and you didn't code along. Just a pattern recognition of you learning React hooks. This is how this is built. This is how this goes into the header. If you just panic and spend all your time on panicking, I saw somebody earlier in the stream and he's like, I'm signing out, like this is going too fast for me. Okay, you're also not going to become a developer. That's just the truth. And so this is how people are weeded out. But we want you to be that person who can actually stick through this. And even if it doesn't make sense to you, it'll make sense. Like it's no joke. You're building an Amazon clone. Like Amazon, it took them decades to get to what they have right now. Those engineers are getting paid $300,000 plus, $400,000 plus a year. We're doing that live in this challenge. So of course, some of the stuff isn't going to make sense. But if you just quit out for that reason, then you're also not going to become a developer. So you have to pick your battles and stick through a goddamn thing and commit. Everybody who's here is committing. So that is very, very powerful, and stick through it. I mean, we're all sticking through it with you.
Exactly, guys. And guys, like Kazi said, if you can't stick through this, those numbers that we said yesterday, the 120K salary, those things, they require that 110% that we talked about. They require that discipline, that sort of not quitting when the push gets going and when it gets hard. Okay, so just like now, it's completely fine if things don't make sense. Do not quit though. Right? Do not quit. Keep that energy high and let's carry on. So let's jump back into the code, and you can see we've done the sticky top nav bar in our build. So it looks really, really nice, really clean. And what we're going to do now is we are actually going to go ahead and build out the body of the app, right? So the body, if we go over to our app.js, we called it the home component. So let's go ahead and create that home component. So here, what I'm going to do is create home. And I'm going to go ahead and create that file. So I'm going to say home.js. And here I'm going to say rfce. Go ahead, create that. And you can see it opens up this. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a class name of home. Right. Now here I'm going to go ahead and say import home.css, like so. And I'm going to create the CSS file. So I'm going to say home.css. Okay. Now, here we have the home component loading, right? So just to prove, we can say I am the home component, like so. we can go ahead and do this, right? So now what we can see is if I go back to app, I go ahead, get rid of our little comment, go back here, say command space and import with our little nice trick. So it's added this import statement, save it. Now you should see here, it says, I am the home component. Okay, so everything underneath you see, everything here is going to be the home component. So let's go ahead and deck this home component out and let's make it look good. So with that said, guys, we are going to first have a container inside of our home component, right? So inside of here, we're going to have a home container. So I'm going to say home underscore container. And and this is 2 underscores in case you're wondering. It's part of the BEM convention. A lot of people always ask what the drawing tool is, by the way. So this drawing tool that we use is actually called ScreenBrush. So in case you're wondering, there you go. So now what we're going to do is inside the home container, we're going to have that beautiful banner that you see. So this banner right here, you see where it fades into the background, right? So this lovely little Amazon Prime banner right here. We're going to show you guys how to go ahead and build that. So now what I'm going to say is I'm going to do image. So image as such. And then I'm going to go ahead and add so I went ahead and found the Amazon one that they use. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. So I've already got my quotes, save, and there you go. So this is actually...
Shout out to Miriam real quick in the Facebook group, and she's like, I'm literally sick right now, but I'm doubling down on my efforts focusing on this.
Nice.
Peace.
I've got that on the screen. That's awesome. So you can't actually see the name, but it says, what's that, Miriam?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. She says, I'm literally sick right now. I'm focusing and putting double efforts. I just love your tutorials. Guys, that's the kind of energy we need here. That's awesome. And with that said, we are almost back at 2,000 viewers. So you guys are absolutely incredible. And with this energy this is the energy that we need to go ahead and hit those goals that we spoke about yesterday. So you can see we went ahead and added the image here, right? But you can see it kind of spans across. Now this doesn't look right, okay? So we need to go ahead and fix this. So let's go ahead and add a class name, and we're going to add a class name of home image. So I'm going to go ahead and add a class name of home image. Now let's go ahead and actually fix this right now. So go to the home.css. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now. And first thing we're going to do is the home container itself. Okay, so the home container itself actually
You are asking for the link. So that link, you will. So here's the thing. One of you type it actually in and then paste it in the comments. So get somebody from this call, just please help out with that. And also in the Slack group, I know we have over 9,000 people and they're actually helping out and dropping links to these things. So look in both of those places.
Exactly, guys. And if you're part of that Slack community, I've actually saved you guys a huge deal, and I just went ahead and pasted that link inside the Slack right now. So you guys can go ahead and check inside Slack, and I've dropped that link. But guys, remember, you can just pause the video and copy this out at some point afterwards as well. So try not to get caught up on just the picture. Just remember what we're trying to learn here. So now the first thing we've done is we gave it a home image class, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and style that. So we are going to go ahead and say that this image, so this home image, should be of width 100%. Now you see, guys, look, I'm just going to comment that out quickly, right? So just these few lines of code, and look at the difference that we got right there. So if you think this is cool, let me know. Let us know in the comments right now. So we're firstly I'm going to slowly uncomment this out. So let's go ahead and first, if we do width of 100%, you can see it snaps everything into the viewport. And this is responsive, by the way. So you can see everything is super responsive. And then what I'm going to say is give it undo this. And we will also want to have a Z index of -1. So we want this to be behind anything else. That's what a Z index is. We're going to give it a margin bottom of 150 minus 150. And that means that elements afterwards are actually going to creep into it. Mask image is what gives it that beautiful sort of fade in effect, right? So we're going to say start from the top to the bottom, and this is basically just saying go from a opaque to go from a completely like complete color to see-through, so also transparent. So let's go ahead and save that, and you get that really nice gradient. So that's going to be really, really clean and nice. And I can see a lot of people are actually dropping it in the chat. That is really nice. And that's the kind of stuff that we talk about, guys. That's what we're talking about. Nice. Right. So that's what mask image is as well. So I saw a lot of you guys got excited about that. So now, with that said, we're going to carry on. And inside of home container, I think I can hear myself echoing a little bit on your mic, Kazi. I'm just going to go ahead and go to home.js. So now inside of home.js, guys, we notice we have these rows, right? So we have these different rows over here. 1 minute. Right, so now inside of these, so you can see what we have is we have these containers here. So here I have a row. There's going to be one row. And then I'm going to have a row over here. Hey, Samit Anglicard jumped in the chat. He says, stay hydrated, guys. He is 100% right. I actually need a drink right now. Super thirsty. So over here, we are also going to have this.
Are you still echoing on my mic? Are you still echoing?
No, that's all good now. That's all good.
Oh.
Something you changed it, but it's all good now.
Got it.
So now, guys, what we're going to have is 3 of those rows, right? And these rows are the really nice part about these rows is that they're going to be fully responsive. So you see the top one has 2, the middle one has 3, and the last one has 1. And the part of the homework is going to be that I want you guys to just pretty much play around with this and see what you can do with it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to say div home __ row like this. And we're basically going to go ahead, and the goal here is to basically render out a product component. So let's go ahead and say we had like the first one has 2 components, and then we have another row. So we have another row, and this one is going to have 3 components. So you can see right here, so it has 2 components, then it has 3 components, and then the final one, so div home __ row, this one has 1 component, right? So you can see exactly a really clear layout of what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, so with that, so you've got these 3 containers, and you can see this one right here is reflecting, so this one right here is reflecting this row over here, right? And we have the 2 containers, so this is that row over here. This one over here is going to reflect these 3 over here, and then we have the final one at the bottom, which is pointing towards this one. Okay, now this is going to be completely responsive, so it's going to calculate on its own based on how many products we put inside as to how to space them out. And I want you guys in your homework to make sure that you go ahead and change this out and make it so that the first one might have 1 product in, the second one might have 5 in, the third one might have 4 in. Right, so make sure you guys vary it up in your homework, so that way we have loads of different projects that we can go ahead and demo and see in a really nice, cool demonstration tomorrow. So in the first row, we're going to go ahead and add a product. But in order to have a product, we need to make this product component. So I'm going to go ahead and create that product component. So product.js, like this. And we're going to say rfce, like so. And here, I'm going to say class name of product, like that. Okay. Now here, I'm going to go and do our normal stuff. I'm going to say product is here. So product.css, save it. And we need to create that product.css. So product.css, like this. All right. So we have the product over here. And then what we're going to do is, we are going to go ahead and actually start coding out the product itself. So the product itself is going to consist of a few things. So it's going to consist of a title, a price, a star rating, an image, and then a add to basket button. Okay, so we need to go ahead and draft this out now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a sort of an info, right? So we're going to basically go ahead and wrap all of the, so everything you see here, so let me go ahead and remove this. Everything we see here is going to be, and I can see a lot of people dropping homework ideas. We actually have a really nice juicy homework idea for you, so it's going to be some fun for you guys afterwards. So here is going to be everything that we're going to basically be calling product info. So here I'm going to say div product info, like so. Okay. And let me go ahead and make this a bit bigger. There you go. Div product info. And this is going to have a title in. So let's go ahead and say the lean startup.
Nice. So there's the product info is basically going to be the
Yep. So the product
Got
info
it.
is, yeah, the product, it just cut out a little bit, but the product info is going to be this top part right here. So this one, for this one, you've got the Kenwood here, the Samsung,
Yeah.
etc. All of that is the product info. No, sorry, the product info is everything here. Sorry, it's the container around all of these elements. And then you've got in the
Yep.
individual things. Yeah. So here we've got the product price. Now here I'm going to basically I'm going to give this one a class name. So this one's going to have a class name, and then we're going to go ahead and say product price, like so. So product price, and here I'm going to go ahead and say a small. So so inside that tag, I'm going to give it a small tag, and I'm going to say dollars, because we're going to use dollars here. And I'm going to say strong. So this is a very quick way of making something bold and small. Here I'm going to say a price of, let's just say, the lean startup is, let's just say 19.99, right? Now if we go back here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to render this out as we do it, so it should be very clear. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this with a product component. So this one should be product component. Now my one actually did a nice little auto import, so you can see here it says auto import import product from product. So if we go ahead and save, we should be able to see now it shows down here, so you can see it says the lean startup 19.99, and this is coming straight from this product here. And if I imagine we had two products, save, you can see two products show up. So the end goal is we're going to get this to this, so this entire little square block. So all of this white stuff is going to be the part of the finished product. Okay, so now what we're going to do is inside of product.js, we are going to go ahead and we've got a p tag here, and I'm going to say the next bit is the product rating. So we're going to have some kind of star rating here, right? So we're going to have a product rating. So I'm going to call this one product rating, like this. And then inside of here, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to essentially have, depending on whatever we pass in. So if we passed in a prop value of like 5 or 4 or 3, then it will render out that many stars. Now what I'm going to do here is we actually just lost Kazi, guys, so it may just be me until Kazi jumps back on, but let me know in the comment section if you're still pumped, because this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with. We have to overcome this sort of obstacles, and tomorrow or maybe later on or very soon Kazi will be back, guys, so do not freak out. We have a whole week and we are gonna fall into these problems, but it's up to us, guys, to overcome this stuff. So let's carry on strong. So here we've got a p tag, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a star like so, and you can see like we've got the star rendering out. Now imagine I added in sort of a few different stars here, so I want to add in like a few different stars. So let's just say 3 stars. Okay, so you can see like in here, for example, it says 5 stars. I'm going to show you guys how we are going to get to the end result. Okay, so we have that right there, and then we're going to have an image. So the image is going to be an image of the product. So let's go ahead and outside of here we're going to say an image, and this is actually going to be outside the product info now. So we're going to say image, and here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it on me for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and find an image of the lean startup, because sometimes you don't know what Google is going to throw at you, especially on the demo days. So let's go ahead and copy the image address, and yeah, go ahead. And guys, if you haven't already and you're enjoying this, smash the thumbs up button and try and get this video out to as many people as you can. Obviously we had a few technical issues earlier, but we are over that and we are going strong. So let's go back to our source, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste this, and what this is this picture right here. So you can see we've got the lean startup. So we've got 2 products being rendered right now because I'm dropping 2 products here. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that up. So we have our 1 product. Now with this, guys, what we are going to do is we are going to, I'm just going to pause. There we go. That should be a bit smoother now. So the stars, by the way, guys, many people are asking about these. You can use a normal emoji. You could literally go on Google and put in a star. You can put in whatever you want. You can do pretty much anything like that, and it should be completely fine. Can you guys, I'm sure you guys can see. There we go. Carry on. So we've got so let's go ahead and just say a 1 star for now. Okay, so it's got the 1 star here for now. And what I'm going to do is we are going to go ahead and see. So a lot of people are saying you can't see the stars, but I think we're good. I think we're all good, guys. So we've got the image back up, and then we're going to go ahead and add a button. So here, I'm going to go ahead and add a button, and that button is going to say add to basket. Okay, add to basket. So let's go ahead and save, and now you can see if we go back to our app, we've got the add to basket button. Hey, so it's clean. Okay, very, very clean. And now what we are going to do is we're going to style this, because right now this does not look nice. It does not look very good. So let's go ahead and use that. So let's go back to our product.css and let's make this thing look beautiful. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our product, and this is the bit I like, because this is where, as we do it, you guys are going to go ahead and see all of the changes visually pop in, right? So here I'm going to say display flex. There we go. So everything goes into a row. I'm going to say flex direction column. So everything goes into a row, and that, it looks horrible. So we're going to fix that in a second. And before actually, let's go ahead and fix that right now. So we're going to target the product container, but we are going to say target the image inside the product container. Give it a max height of 200 pixels, a width of 100%, object fit contain, and a margin bottom of 15 pixels. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then you can see what this will do is it will actually restrain the image so that it doesn't look crazy big like we saw it before. Okay, now Mohammed Irfan says, you good? Yeah, we're good, dude. We're all good. So now we're going to go ahead and add a background color of white. So let's go ahead and add a background color of white. And then we need to do a few things. So a Z index of 1 should allow this to pop up over the top. But there's a few things that we need to do in order to get that color to pop. And the first things we need to do is actually go ahead and add a few different rules in. So we added these things. We had the flex direction, and we're going to add in the following here. So what I just pasted in was this. I added align item center. Go ahead and save. Justify content flex end. Margin 10 pixels, padding 20 pixels, width 100%, max height 400 pixels, min width of 100. You guys can go ahead and just copy that, and it's going to be completely fine. You can break down those values if you want to and sort of digest that as you feel free. But what this is going to do is actually going to go ahead and space it out as required, and to do so. So now we have that. And for the price, what I'm going to go ahead and do, so we've got the product info here. So for the product info, I'm going to set the height to 100 pixels. Let's go over here and jump down. Height to 100 pixels, margin bottom of 15 pixels. And then I'm going to go ahead and say the price should have, so the price should have a margin top of 5 pixels. So you can see it's starting to come together a little bit. Okay, starting to come somewhat together. The button itself, I'm going to go ahead and target. So I'm going to go ahead and target that button and say, you see guys, that snippet of code did all the difference there. So you see we have a normal button here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste in this snippet. And I just want you guys to copy this one because it's completely the styles that you need. This is the Amazon color, the background color for Amazon. Now, you've got the border, 1 pixel solid right here. And that adds a little, very, very subtle border, but it adds a nice little border in there. So over here. And then you've got the margin top. So it slightly pushed it from the top component a little bit. We've got a margin top of 10 pixels and a border color. And we have a nice little gradient border color. It's very subtle, but these things make all the difference, right? And we have some, I think it's just some black text. Okay, so it's just some very, very simple stuff. Okay, so very black, just black text. And then I'm just going to double check because I'm a bit paranoid that I haven't actually got the right style here. So I'm just going to be sure. There we go. Yep, so everything's good. So that is the product. Okay, so we have the product right here. And what we're going to do next is we are going to go ahead and go to the go to home. And for each of these products, right, so we have this product right here. But for each of these products, let me go ahead and go over to home.js. So where am I at? Home.js. And we still have over 1,500 people watching. So you guys are awesome. Let's keep this energy high, guys. So here now what I'm going to say is I'm going to go ahead and target the home container. Okay. So let me go back to home.css. And I'm going to do a few rules here, and I just want you guys to follow along, and you can break this down as you feel free afterwards. So the first thing is the surrounding container is the home container. For this, I'm going to say display flex, right? So display flex. Then I'm going to say justify content center. Then I'm going to say margin left, margin right of auto, and a max width of 1500 pixels. Now, the reason why this is important is because what this does is, what we just did here is, let's go ahead and make this full screen. You see, we actually limit. So if it ever goes past a certain screen size, it's not going to just keep like stretching everything to stupid, ridiculous lengths. It's going to actually stop it. So now it's very, very fluid. Right, so we actually got a lovely donation by J. Courtney Thomas. Thank you so much, dude. We massively appreciate that. I'm just going to pull it up on the screen right now. He says, your work is amazing, guys. I am a Pega low-code developer, but this has really got me back into proper coding. Exactly, guys. That is some British slang being dropped right there. Proper coding. That's what we're talking about. This is some fun stuff, guys, and we have a whole week of this content. So if you're excited, let us know. That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. So yeah, we added that little piece of code in, which protects us against that max width issue. The next thing we are going to go ahead and do, so we're going to go back to our code, is we're going to go ahead and target that row. Okay. So here I'm going to say home row. So I'm going to target so if we go into our home component, you can see everything sits inside of a home row. Let's go back into home.css and we can say display flex z index of 1, margin left 5 pixels, margin right 5 pixels, save the file, and boom. So you see, that's actually a magic piece of code where that kicks in, because what that did is that actually allowed us to then go ahead and it will use up the entire space that it needs to use up, and it does all of the things that it needs to do. But the product itself, so the home product, so we've got home. Let's go ahead and go inside of here. We've got the actual, let me go ahead and find this 1 second, guys. We've got the home, the product itself, product info. Let's go ahead and just want to double check this. So imagine now what we do is if we had 2 products. So let's go ahead and go to home. Let's render 2 products inside of here. And you can see, there we go, guys. So it's actually using up the correct amount of space that we expect it to be using up, right? But you can see this text is actually getting pushed around, and we don't actually want that. We want it to kind of use up or left align that top container. So that is the product info. So that most likely means we need to go ahead and target the product info correctly. So I think what we could do here is we could do text align either left. We could either do that. Nope, that hasn't done it. Or we can actually go back to our product. And then we just double check. I'm probably missing a piece of code right here. But what we can do, guys, I'm going to show you a little debugging trick. So if we go ahead, right click, inspect. And what I can do is I can actually go ahead and check on this component. So I can see the product info over here. And what I can say is I can say a width of 100%. Let's go ahead and see what that will do. Hey, there we go. So we can see we can give it a width of 100%. You can give it a width of whatever you want it to at this point. But we're going to keep it as what it was for now. So here we have 2 product components and they're rendering out as required. So if I go ahead and add a third, look what happens, guys. It just does it in a very responsive way. Add a 4th, it's going to figure it out. It's going to do that thing. It's going to make it work in the way that we expect it to. So I'm going to add 2 in here. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and go back to our product.js. And here we go. So we've got the product info, we've got the p tag. I'm going to go ahead and change the product info here to, I feel like I'm missing a style, but we will figure that one out. So let's go back to product. Okay, we're all good. So we have these 2 products, which is awesome. Let's go back to our home, and we've got this 2 over here. And basically, I'm just going to populate these as we saw it previously. So we've got the 3 products down here, and for this one, we had. Let's go ahead and we had 1 product down here. So now you can see it's somewhat along the lines, right? So it's somewhat along the lines of getting there, but you see the background color is not exactly white. Okay, so the background color is not exactly white. And that is going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so we want to kind of change that right now. So what we're going to do to change that is we're going to go to our app.css, or actually I think we've done it in index.css. Yeah, we've done it in index.css. So let's go to our index.css. And inside the body, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say give it a background color of this right here. Now this is the Amazon background. It's gray. Okay, so as soon as I do this, can you guys see the difference it makes? So it's all about these subtle differences when it comes to coding in front-end development, guys. So that just by adding a gray background, you can see it actually makes it super clean, and you have this very nice finish. Okay, so it's very nice finish at the end of that when we do go ahead and add that slight change. Now I'm going to close that one and let's go back. So here now, obviously the final app doesn't look like this, right? So I mean, everything looks a bit different, but how do we pass in different values to each of these components? So in order to do that, the way that we're going to do it is we're going to go inside of our header. So I actually want to fix something quickly, because right now the home row itself, so let's go ahead and check. We've got the home row. I just want to check. So home row, max width of 100. And the image is taking up 100%. Yep, we've done that. Okay, so here we go. So for the home product, okay, I guess we're good. So, okay, so that's fine. So we've got this right here. We've got the home row itself. We've got the home product, and we have the home product p tag. We have the home product image. Okay, I guess we're good. So inside of the product itself, then what we're going to do is we want to basically customize each one of these and have it so that it's essentially going to be different for each of these props. Okay, so different for each of these right here. So that we're going to use props for that. So I saw somebody say different code. Guys, this was actually written by us. So this is all our code. I'm going to go over to product. And now, guys, what you can do here is you can accept something called props. Right, now props in ES6, what we can do is we can put these curly braces, and this means we break apart the object that we pass in. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to pass in something as follows. So I'm going to say you have a title, you have an image, you have a price, and you have a rating. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it. Let's go back to home, and then what we're going to say is here we have the title. Let's go ahead and say is the lean startup. So the lean startup, the price, let's go ahead and say is 19. Let's go ahead and just exaggerate, say 29.99. And then we have the image. Now the image for the lean startup was the one that we had earlier, which was, I believe it was this one. So that's actually rendered really ugly. So let's go ahead and do this. Let me save it. So we've got the image, and then we also had the rating. And the rating, what I'm going to say is, let's just give it a 5-star rating now. Okay, so for what we're going to do is here we are going to say, so now we don't want to use a hard-coded value. We actually want to use the one that we passed in. So here I'm going to say use the title. And what this is doing, guys, I just want to show you. So you guys can see that this is the product where I called it, right? So this is where I called the product and I passed in a value here. Now this gets used. So you see we destructure it over here, okay? Then we actually go ahead and we use that value right here. So in the title. So you can see this is the sort of way that we use props, and it actually allows us to make it extremely reusable and efficient. And this is why I personally love React, and it's one of the reasons why React has taken off so well. So I'm going to go ahead and create this again. So now we have the title pulling in here. So you can see now these ones aren't showing a title because I've only passed props to the first one. Okay, which makes sense. So the second one, we don't want it to be a 19.99. I want this one to say price. So this one's going to say price. Save it. And then here, rather than doing 1 star, I'm going to show you guys a nice little trick. Okay. Now, the way you do this is here, what we're going to say is, oh, damn, dude, we just got a huge donation. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We got a $20 donation from Zero.js background to Amazon clone. You guys are amazing. Much love and respect. Great job. Proud of you. I know you deserve more, but I'm a student. Rico from USA. Guys, that's insane. We love you guys and appreciate you guys. And I can see it's early for some of you guys. So that's insane. I really think you guys who are here watching this early in the morning, you're spending your time well. Keep fired up. If you need to get up, stay hydrated. I'm going to have a drink of water quite now because it is quite intense doing this. But we have over 1,600 people. Let's go ahead and keep the energy fired up, guys. So we have the price, which is pulling in. So now it says $29.99 over here. But what we can do instead is we can go ahead and have these curly brackets and say array. We pass in the rating. So what it's doing is creating an empty array for the rating. And we're going to say fill. And we're going to say map. And then here, what we do is, so ignore pretty much, you don't need to know what this means, but you do underscore I, right? You do underscore I, and this has to be in a parentheses. And you do an arrow function like so, right? So an arrow function like so, and basically pop in a p tag. So this you can go ahead and copy, right? You go ahead and copy this, and now you can see, look, it rendered out 3, right? So it actually rendered out 3 different things. So if I go ahead and do product, oops, oh, nope. If I go ahead and do product.css, god damn it, right? So product.css. I'm going to go ahead and target and style the product rating. So here I'm going to say product rating, and I'm going to go ahead and do product rating. And here I'm just going, in order to get those stars in a line, I'm going to say display flex, because by default, when you do display flex, it drops it into a row. So now, guys, this is really cool now, because if we go back to our home and we see, if I change the rating to a 3, you can see, look at that, it changed to a 3. Now, guys, if that's pretty cool, let me know. This is a clear demonstration of how props work. So you got 4, and if I do 5, you got 5 stars. I mean, if we do 10, I mean, you're going to get 10 stars. So it works pretty nice, okay? So 5, there we go. Now, what we're doing is we're going back to the product, and for example here, we don't want to use the image, the hard-coded image. Instead, we want to use the image that we pass in. So you can pop it in there, and there we go. So now you're seeing only the ones that we pass in to, only the stuff that we pass in is actually where it gets rendered. So that's why you see these empty ones over here. Now for the final one, we have this button over here. So it says add button. We don't actually need anything else. So that's pretty good at this point. Right, we're also going to accept an ID, but we'll come back to that later. Right, so for now, we're not too fast as to accepting an ID, but I'm just going to go ahead and add that in for now. Okay, so with that said, now what we're going to do is, I've actually got some products here, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these products. So these are the ones that you guys saw earlier. So this is just pretty much a product, and I'm just going to assume that some products have a unique ID. Okay, so this is just a random number. It's a random number. And you can see here, it's got another one. We've got Kenward, and we just got some description, a price, a rating, and an image. So you guys can pause the video, watch this, and just go ahead and copy this as you need to, when you need to. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the 3 products underneath. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a full screen view of this so you can see it, and I'm going to go ahead and hide our faces like that so it makes it easier. So you can pause the video, copy that, and use it as you feel free or as you need to. Let's go ahead and save it. And I love this, dude. So I can't actually see the names on Facebook, so I'm really sorry about that. But this is a really nice comment here. Thank you so much, because I think React is super easy to understand, especially with Sunny's explanations. Thank you, dude. Like, thank you, honestly. That's really I massively appreciate that. Really awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to home. Let's go back over here, and I'm going to go and add a final product. So this final product at the bottom is going to be this one right here. So it says Samsung. There we go. Okay. Lost track of my code. Okay, we're good. So now you can see, guys, we've got the lean startup. We've got this right here, the Kenward. We've got the 3 things over here, and then we have this as such, right? Now obviously this one right here, it actually has some more information, so I'm going to go ahead and actually copy the one that I have. I have a full product description, whereas you can see the one that I passed in doesn't have a full product description. So if we save it now, you can see, there we go. So if you are following along and you're actually at this point, let me know right now, guys, because this is really, really awesome to be able to show and share this with you guys. And I just love the fact that so many of you guys are watching. This is water, by the way. So loads of you guys are asking what it is. And honestly, it's unreal how many people we have today. So, and you guys are all sticking with us. The retention is high. This is awesome, guys. Let's carry on. Right, so we have the home row over here. Now, we pretty much just actually went ahead and dominated that front page. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys what we just built fairly quickly, guys. So we actually have this amazing front page right now, right? Now, this is insane. Like, I'm like, come on, let's be real, guys. Amongst all of the connection issues that we suffered, everything that we faced, I mean, we actually conquered this and overcame, and we went ahead and built this front page pretty quick, in my opinion. Like, that didn't take that long, right? So this is really, really awesome, really powerful, and I think it just shows you how powerful React can truly be. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build the next page. Now the next page is the basket. So we want to build this page, right? So this page is where all of the exciting, interesting stuff happens, right? So now, because we have all of this basket removing functionality, it's very dynamic, it's very optimized, and it can do a lot of stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to, in order to have two pages in a website, you need something called React Router. Okay, now what React Router does is it allows you, so notice how on this website, when I'm actually, see if we notice the top URL, when I click the basket, it says /checkout. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I'm pointing towards this part over here. So where it says /checkout. Okay, now, when I click the back, you see when I click the Amazon logo, it goes to the home page, and when I click this, it goes to /checkout. In order to get that functionality, we just need to introduce something called React Router. And guys, just wanted you guys to know that I see a lot of you guys asking, do I need to finish it by a certain time? No, honestly, all of the homework, all of this stuff, as long as you guys are able to deliver before the end of the challenge, that is amazing, guys. I mean, that's all you need to do to be a part of the prize draw. But guys, if you go ahead and follow all of this stuff, then you're going to get the serious value in, and you're actually going to be able to land jobs from this stuff. So make sure you go ahead and do that stuff. So let's go ahead and jump back into the code. So here what we're going to do is app.js, and let's go ahead and do the following. So now we are going to go ahead and introduce React Router. So in order to introduce React Router, we need to go ahead and install React Router DOM. So let's pull up our terminal with Command J. I'm going to go ahead and add another terminal. So we have this right here. Make sure you're CD'd into the correct directory. And I'm going to do npm i for install. So npm install React Router DOM. So you guys just want to do the same command, and that will go ahead and get you to the correct and that will go ahead and install React Router DOM for yourself. Right now, I just saw somebody says, why is he repeating the same project? This is not the same project. We have full payment processing in this project on days 2 and 3. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so in order to implement this, what we do now is we pretty much wrap our app. So we need to import a bunch of things at the top. So you guys can go ahead and do the same thing. You can import this from the top. And then what we are going to do is we are going to go over to the return, and we're going to wrap everything inside of a router. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and literally wrap the entire app inside of something called a router, like so. There we go. Okay, now what you need to do is, once that's up and done, then what we are going to do is right now we just render the header and the home regardless, right? We want to render it based on the route that we're in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say switch, Right, now switch in programming is usually when you have different cases or sort of statements. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop everything inside of here. And then what I'm going to say is you define specific routes. So the first route I'm going to define is when we're at the home page. So this is how you do it. You say, let's go ahead and get rid of this. So when I'm at this route, render the header and the home component. Okay, so if I do that now, so you see I'm at the / root, and by default it falls back to this. If I go to ABC, this will always get hit if it doesn't match anything. So this is always your default route. So this is what we call the homepage route. So right now you can see at the homepage route, it's very, very clear and very, very good. Okay, and it works as we need it. But what if we want the checkout page route? How do we implement that? So I'm going to go ahead and copy the same snippet, but I'm going to say checkout. Now, just to exaggerate this, what I'm going to do is on the checkout page, we're not going to have a home component. We're going to say instead a huge H1, which is I am a checkout. Smash the like button. Save. And let's see if this works. And if it does work, I mean, listen to the code, right? So let's go ahead and go to the / checkout. And boom, I am a checkout. Smash that like button if you're enjoying this content. I thought that was smooth AF. If Kazi was here right now, dude, I think he'd be proud of that one. That was yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of fun, guys. Yeah, but you guys can see that that is essentially how we use React Router, okay? So you can see at the top, we pretty much have, it says / checkout, okay? So let's go ahead and get rid of that, and it goes to the home page. You see that, right? So that's going to be super, super easy. Okay, so like to implement, you see that's how we did it. And now you can add as many routes as you want, but make sure your default route is at the bottom. Otherwise, it never gets listened to, it never gets picked up. Okay, and that's going to be a problem. So with that said, now what we're going to do is we're going to create the checkout component. So instead of this I am a checkout, smash the like button. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do, oh, somebody said shoot that horn. You know what? Let's shoot that damn horn. Oh, damn, dude, that was louder than I thought from my head. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create the checkout component, okay? So here we're going to go ahead and create the checkout component. Now it's going to freak out. It's going to freak out because we haven't built that component. So as soon as I click save, it's going to be like, whoa, 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 you don't have a checkout component. So let's go ahead and do checkout.js. Also, I just saw something interesting from someone. I will bring this up in a sec, but we're going to create checkout and do RFCE. And then here we're going to do our standard BEM setup. So we're going to say class name, checkout, and say import checkout.css, save the file, and there we go. Okay, there we go. Save. Oh god, what's happening here, dude? Okay, save, and then if I do H1, smash the like button. Right, so now it doesn't work. Oh, it's working. There we go. Right, so if I go back to home, no, sorry, not home. If I go back to app.js, so let's go back to, oh, I actually need to create that checkout.css. So checkout.css, like so. And there we go. Okay, so if I go ahead and create this, and then we have this, and let's go back to app.js. And now, guys, you see where it was freaking out. You can go to the end, press Control Spacebar, and it says Auto Import. So that will actually go ahead and drop this in for us. Save the file, and we're back. Okay. Now, this is a really good point. You see, we use header in both of these things. So what we can do here, if it's used in both, we want to render it regardless of what route we're in. Now, we can basically go ahead and chuck this outside of the switch, right? So we can say render the header regardless, and then based on the route, render the checkout or the home. So if I go ahead and save it, you see nothing changed, but the header always gets rendered. If I go / checkout, hey, look at that, you heard the page, smash the like button. Damn it, dude, that's number 2. I think that was pretty smooth. Right, now we have, so you see, that's actually a really good point though, because somebody went ahead and dropped this in the chat, and I think it's a really, really good point to emphasize on. If you have the header being repeated, you can actually go ahead and pop it outside if you need to, and that will go ahead and save you a lot of hassle and effort. Okay, So that's going to save you a bunch of headache. So let's go ahead and create the checkout page. Okay, so the checkout page, what I'm going to do now is go ahead, and we have two sections of the checkout page. We have the checkout left, right? So let's go over here and let's add something to our basket. We have the checkout left and we have the checkout right. Okay, so checkout left and checkout right. So checkout left, when I say that, I'm referring to this. And when I'm referring to the right side, I'm referring to this. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to do. So now here I'm going to say div checkout underscore left, like so. We still have 16,000 people, guys. 1,600 people. Sorry, it's amazing, guys. You guys are incredible. Like, I can't believe the energy and commitment from you guys. Honestly, it's so powerful, and it's motivating as hell for me. So that is amazing to see you guys are still here. All right, let's go back to the image tags. Let's go ahead and do our image, and here I'm going to say that this has a class name of image. Oh no, sorry, checkout ad. Okay, so this is going to be checkout ad. Now for the source, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop in the Amazon link. Okay, so inside of here, what I'm going to do is drop in the Amazon link. So this is actually this banner right here. So this is a banner. Obviously this is too big right now. So let's go ahead and make that a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is go to checkout.css and go ahead and target this and say, for that ad, go ahead and make the width 100% and the margin bottom, so underneath it, a margin of 10 pixels. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, and that's going to make that a little bit cleaner. And then going back to our code, let's go back to checkout.js, and then we're going to go ahead and do so underneath now, what we're going to say is we're going to have a div, and this div is going to have, so underneath we're going to say div, and this div is going to have a h2, which is going to have a check. It's going to be h2, and it's going to have checkout underscore title, and this is going to say your shopping basket. Okay, your shopping basket. Save it. You can see it says your shopping basket, and then we are going to have all of the products that you have inside your basket get rendered out. Okay, so this sort of stuff is going to happen. Now I'll explain how we do that in a sec, but let's focus on the right hand side of the screen for now. So let's go ahead and jump on the right hand side of the screen. So let's go ahead and do this right here. So div.checkout underscore right, like this. Okay, now in here we're going to render the subtotal. Okay, so this is going to be part of your homework, the subtotal, but we have a lot of stuff to do before then. And thank you, dude. Somebody said, never thought React Rio is so easy. Sonny was amazing explaining that. Thank you, guys. That means a lot when I see stuff like that. It's very motivating, and it pushes you to do more. So check out right, so you can see this stuff over here on the right. We're going to go ahead and build that on that side of the screen. So that's going to be a subtotal component. So right now I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put a h2 here saying h2 saying the subtotal will go here. We'll go here, save that, and you can see the subtotal. So you see right now it doesn't look like how we expect it to be looking. So inside of checkout, what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually go ahead and say the following. I'm going to say checkout display flex padding of 20 pixels, background color of white, and a height of max content. And the reason why this has happened is because remember we had that left and right. The right has this the subtotal, where the subtotal will go here, and the left had the image and the rest of the stuff, so the h2 where it says shopping basket and so forth. Now underneath the checkout, the goal here is to have all of the baskets, all of the basket items. So here I'm going to have a basket item being rendered out, and then so forth, loads of them like that, and that is basically going to be resembled in the fact of what we see here. So just as we see it here is basically how we expect to go ahead and see it in our code. Okay, but we're a few steps away from getting to that point just yet. So what we're going to do next is actually go ahead and target the checkout title. Okay, so the checkout title, we are going to go ahead and give that the following code. We're going to say that is a margin right of 10 pixels, and that has padding 10 pixels and a border bottom of 1 pixel solid light gray. Just go ahead and add that in. So you see that actually added in this nice little line. So if I go ahead and comment this out for a sec, come back, bring it back, you see, pops in that nice little line. Okay. Now, I love this comment. I've seen this a few times. It says, I'm amazed, guys. I'm watching this like a movie. And do you know what, guys? I'm actually kind of jealous because like, I wish when I was learning coding that we had this kind of content. Because it's just like, I find it the best way to learn. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I always find the practical stuff where you can actually go ahead and get your hands into the nitty gritty, that is going to allow you to go ahead and absolutely crush it. So there we have the shopping basket. Okay, so now guys, what we want to do is we have this also I want to be able to click this link. So you see, I want to be able to click this Amazon link and actually take me back to the home page. So what we can do here is we can go to our header component, and I'm going to show you guys how easy it is using React Router just to go ahead and do that. So this is the image for the logo. So this is the header logo. And what we need to do here is simply do a link. You see it says auto import from React Router DOM. So this is the import statement that you need. But all we need to do is do a link and put the image inside of this link. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and say specify a to property, and this is just going to be go back to the home page. Okay, so now you can see it's become a clickable link. So as soon as I click it, boom, we go back to the home page. That's awesome. That's slick, and that was easy to implement, guys. Yeah, so you see that was super easy to implement. And what I'm going to show you is also another very easy thing to do, and that lies over here. So let's go ahead, and I want it to happen at the basket as well. So when I click this basket, it takes us to that basket page. So as you guys might guess it, we go here, we type in link like so, and we surround everything inside of it. So let's go ahead and dash everything inside of it. Let's go ahead and do this link to, and let's do /checkout. Save it. And now guys, if I click this, boom, it takes me to the checkout. Doom, clicks this, everything works. Right now, somebody says the website has no SSL. When we deploy to Firebase, it will have SSL. So yeah, you can recheck that one, dude, because it will have SSL. Yeah, but you can pretty much see now we have the shopping basket and the Amazon. And guys, the beautiful thing is there's no refresh. All right, so there's no refresh. It's super quick, and that's why we love React Router inside of React. Okay, so carrying on strong, still over 1,500 people. Love and appreciate you guys. This energy is insane right now. Let's keep on going, guys. So so let's go ahead, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our shopping basket. And now I guess the next step naturally, guys, is what we're going to do is first I'm going to create the subtotal component. Okay, so the subtotal component, let's firstly go ahead and do that because that will make our life a little bit easier for the homework. Let's go to our checkout component, and let's see here. So we have the subtotal will go here. So let's go ahead and make a subtotal component. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say subtotal like so. Okay, get rid of this, save, and let's go back. And let's do subtotal.js RFCE, and let's go ahead and pop that out. And then what I'm going to do is for this class, I'm going to give it a class name of subtotal. Save the file, go back up here and say import subtotal.css. Save the file, pull it back, and let's go ahead and code this up. So what I'm going to use is actually a really nice library called React Currency Format. So in order to install this, it's very simple, guys. All you need to do is go ahead and go open up your terminal. So Command J is my little shortcut. Do npm I, do React Currency Format. This will go ahead and import. This will go ahead and import the module into our platform, into our project, and it will allow us to use it. And the reason why I love this, guys, is because it allows you to really easily actually go ahead and show money. Okay, so it may sound silly, but it shows you rendering money is not always the simplest thing. Okay, so this is going to make it super easy to go ahead and do that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, and if you guys are interested in getting excited because we are going to be covering React Context API. So if you guys have been wanting to know about React or Redux, then let me know in the comment section right now, because Redux is on fire, and I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and learn all of that beautiful stuff with the React Context API. Okay, so get excited for that. Let me know in the comment section. And it's completely fine if you are behind, guys. You can take your time, you can watch this back, you can pause the video, you can spend 6, 7, 10 hours, 50 hours, it doesn't matter. Just spend your time afterwards and you can go ahead and do this afterwards. Okay, so let's go back to subtotal. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and import it at the top of the file. So let's go ahead and import currency format from React currency format, like so. And now what we're going to do is here, guys, I'm going to copy a big snippet and I'm going to explain what we're doing here. Okay, so I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to copy this snippet and then break it down, okay, because it can be a lot to digest, a lot to swallow. So let's go back over to okay, I'm going to say here 0 items. There we go. Okay, and then here I'm also going to say 0. Okay, now let's go to our checkout page. Let's render our subtotal by doing auto import, which imports it at the top of the page. Save it, and what we can see now is it says get by. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually fix some of this. So this right now, I'm going to say a value of 0. And this also is freaking out because it says cannot resolve subtotal.css. So let's go ahead and make that file subtotal.css. Save it. I see so many people asking about folder structures, guys. Don't worry about the folder structures. Just get the content down, and that is going to be much more important than having fancy folders. Okay, so screw all that stuff. Focus on the actual learning and everything behind it. Okay, so right, so you saw that worked, and you can see we have this subtotal over here on the right hand side. So we want to get that looking like that. Okay, we want it to look like this. Okay, so how do we get it to look like that? Let's go and style this thing. So let's go back to our subtotal.js, and here let's quickly explain a few of these things. So we'll come to render text in a second, but here we're saying decimal scale of 2. So go to a 2 decimal places. So like for example here 2 decimal places. The value, so this is the currency, this is the amount getting passed in here. So this is going to be part of your homework, guys. So this is going to be part of the homework, right? I want you guys to try and figure this one out, see how you guys can implement that. Display type is text. We can leave that 1000 separator. So if you've got like £6,000 or something, let's go ahead and add like a silly number of like expensive products here. So let's go ahead and add like a few iPads. And then you can see at the top it says 4,000 because we've added this 1000 separated true. The prefix here is not going to be pounds. We're going to use dollars because, you know, most of the team uses dollars. So let's go ahead and stick with dollars. And then what we are going to have is the render text. So this is what actually comes out of the text, right? So this is what actually gets rendered onto the screen. So at this point we can ignore the value here, but this is the crucial part. So focus on the p tag and the small tag. The p tag is essentially where we say subtotal, the number of items, and the value. Okay, so here this is the value that we actually pass in here. So it's actually going to be used as a prop here. So this is also a part of the homework, right? So this is part of the homework, right? So pay attention to the homework, guys, because it's going to be juicy. Okay, and I want you guys to do well in this homework, and it's going to be a nice little challenge actually for you guys. And you can see the homework is dynamic. So as I remove items from the basket, as I remove things, it updates the number of items and it updates the price. Okay, so it does all of that stuff and it updates everything. Okay, so we have this over here. We have the small tag. Okay, now this is just an input type because it says the order contains a order contains a gift. Obviously ours doesn't look like this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and style it and then we can move on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do right now is go to I'm going to go to, we've got the checkout, we've got the subtotal, and then here. So after this, we're going to have a proceed to checkout button. Okay, so and this is going to be a React router. This is going to have, sorry, it's going to be a button which says proceed to checkout. So let's go ahead and drop this in underneath. So here, proceed to checkout. Okay, now let's go ahead and make this. Let's go ahead and make this an absolute beautiful looking subtotal form. So let's go to our subtotal, and what we're going to do is we're going to add in the following rules. So I'm going to explain every single one of these in a sec. So we're doing display flex, flex direction column, yeah, justify content space between, width of 300 pixels, height of 100 pixels, padding 20 pixels, which can give it a bit more space around it. Background color of, it's going to be like a white, I think it's like an off gray. Okay, then you've got a border with a nice little color behind it and a border radius which is slightly rounded. Okay, so there you go. As soon as I save that, look at the difference it made. Like just by making that slight little change, we get a beautiful looking we have a beautiful looking UI already, right? So let's go ahead and let's target the gift next. So let's go to subtotal.js, and here we have the subtotal gift. So we had it here. So I'm going to go ahead and target that subtotal gift. I'm going to say display flex and align items in the center, because you can see right now it's kind of very subtle, but it's actually off. So you see right now where I'm pointing, it's actually slightly off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. So let's go back to subtotals.js. And I'm going to go ahead and do back to CSS, sorry. Go ahead and do this. Okay, so this is awesome. Let's click save, and then you can see it went and aligned it centrally. Now I'm going to go ahead and target the input field. I'm going to say give it a margin right at 5 pixels, so it slightly pushed it away. And then I want to get the Amazon button styling down so it looks like the Amazon button. And hey, somebody says clean as Sunny's hairstyle. Thank you, dude. So subtotal, we're going to target the button inside, and we're going to say background of this beautiful Amazon orange, and we're going to say back border radius right here, and we're also going to say a width of 100 pixels, a height of 30 pixels, and then we are going to say border margin top border color, and remember that's the slight gradient that we shown previously, and the color is the black text. So as soon as I hit save, guys, as soon as I hit save, if this looks amazing, smash that thumbs up button if you already haven't, because guys, if we're all part of this community, let's help share this knowledge to as many people as we possibly can. Save it, and look how clean that UI is. Like, I mean, I always, like, even as an experienced developer, sometimes like you come back to these moments where you're like, damn, like the subtle changes make the entire thing look different. Like it completely changes your perspective on this stuff. So looks really, really clean. Now, with that said, guys, we are going to actually go ahead, and I saw a question asking about React routing and history object. Yes, we will be doing that. Stay tuned for days 2 and 3, and we're going to cover plenty of that stuff. Now, guys, I want to get to the juicy stuff. Okay, so just want to take a second here. So I know it's been quite an intense build so far, but this is where it gets a little bit intense, and we're basically going to crush this next bit. So if you need to, stand up, stretch out, have some, like, you know, take a few breaths, just give yourself a little bit of a break, right? Have some water. I'm going to have a quick break. And let's crush the next section, which is the React Context API. Okay, we're going to kill this section today because this is going to be the big juicy part of this build, and once we get through this part, it's going to allow us to have this amazing functionality to go ahead and add and remove items from our basket. Okay, so you can go ahead and add items to the basket. So let's go ahead and see, we can add items to the basket, we can remove items, and we can do loads of stuff as such. Okay, so this is going to be awesome, and this is going to be part of today's implementation. Okay, so what I think actually is yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so what we have now is the React Context API. Now we have all of our apps right here. Okay, now whenever I add something to the basket, I essentially need a data layer to push that item into the basket. So let's pull out the whiteboard. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can actually see me. I need to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go ahead and pull out the whiteboard. Okay, so let's imagine we have a few components. So let's go ahead. We've got the header. Okay, we've got the header, we've got the body. Okay, so this is the header of the app and this is the body. And then here are the products, right? So this is one product, this is another product, this is another product, okay? And this is a fourth product. So we've got 4 products in a row, right? Now each one has an add to basket button, okay? So this is like an add to basket button, add to basket button, add to basket button, and so forth, okay? Then we have our little nice basket icon at the top, okay? So I don't know, this is like a little basket, okay? So what I'm saying now is here, what we're going to have is essentially an add to basket button. Okay. So it's going to be an add to basket button. And basically what we want to do is we want it so that when I click this button, we're essentially going to push, an item into, let's just call it the data layer. Okay. So let's call this the data layer, And what I'm referring to here is actually the React context API, okay, or it's similar to the Redux pattern. So many of you may have heard of Redux or wanted to learn Redux. So basically anytime I press any of these buttons, it's going to push the item that the button belongs to into the data layer, right? Now, why is this so powerful? It's because once it lives in this data layer, what we can do is we can essentially go ahead and just pull it into any component that we need. We can go ahead and pull it into the basket. We can go ahead and pull it into the into this component, for example. We can pull it wherever we need it, okay? So this is going to be crucial for your homework, and this is going to be crucial, for example, once we push the item into the data layer, then, for example, when we go into the My Basket page or checkout page, we can see what items are inside the data layer. So this is going to be why we need the React data layer. So let's go ahead and actually go ahead. I just want to see, I just got a message on Skype. 1 second. Maybe Kazi is actually rejoining us, guys. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go ahead and add the prerequisites for the context API. So now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to create the state provider. So here are a few steps which I recommend you don't stress over too much, okay? Just follow my steps, follow what we need to do, and you will get things working in the way they need to work, okay? And once we get to that point, you can understand how they work afterwards. Just follow what I'm doing right now and everything will work super smooth, okay? So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to state provider. So let's go ahead and add state provider. So let's go ahead and do state provider.js. And you guys can pretty much copy what I'm about to write here, okay? So here, I'm going to copy out a snippet. Now this snippet right here, pretty much, it's just a few different import statements, okay? So this is a few different import statements that we have right here. And then we have, this is essentially creating the data layer. So this basically prepares, let's say prepares the data layer. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, prepares the data layer. So we're gonna prepare the data layer. And here we basically have, 1 second. So here we have the essentially the preparation of the data layer, and then here, guys, we don't need to essentially know what this does, like, but I'll explain this in a different video or maybe in the comments afterwards. But all this is essentially doing is basically this will wrap our app, okay? This what we have right here is basically setting everything up, and it's going to wrap our app and provide the data layer to every component inside of our app. That's it, okay? That's all it's doing. So we don't need to know about all this fancy stuff. All you can do at this point is just copy this out, okay? Just copy it out. That's all we need to know. And this is how we're actually going to be able to pull information, right? So pull information from the data layer. Now I can see some people asking, like, should we actually go ahead and copy and paste and things like that? Guys, trust me when I say this. I've taught so many students, me and Kazi, everyone else has taught students. Like, trust me, it's all about pattern recognition. Do not be freaked out by this stuff, okay? I want you guys to copy this out, and you can actually go ahead and focus on how we use this, and then the sort of implementation, this stuff won't be as important. Okay, so we're going to click save, and now what we're going to do is we are going to go over to our index.js, and here what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and wrap our component. Okay, so we're going to wrap our component in something called the state provider. So we're going to say state provider, and we are basically going to go ahead and close this like so. And it's going to freak out because we don't have these two things. We don't have the initial state, and we don't have this weird thing called the reducer. Okay, and this is a really good comment by Hejira. She says, so that every component can get access to the data layer. Yes. So this is why we actually want the, this is why we want a data layer, so that every single component can have access to that data layer, which means that if we push information in, then we can basically go ahead and pull information out wherever we are inside of our app. Okay. So this is why we actually need to go ahead and use that. So with that said, we have that pretty much working, but we need to have these two things. So the initial state is what does the data layer look like in the beginning, and the reducer is how we sort of manipulate with the data layer. How do we play with the data layer? So what we need to do now is create something called a reducer. So let's go ahead and create reducer.js. Now, don't worry about what reducer means as such. It's just think of it as the data layer, right? So in this case, what we need to do is creates the initial state, right? So we're going to have a user at some point, but for now we're going to leave it blank. But initially in the data layer, we're going to start with a empty basket. Okay, so we're going to have an empty basket to begin with, and then what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to create something called a reducer. Okay, so this initial state, remember we saw this earlier, we actually used it here. So I can go ahead and import this into, and we've actually go ahead and we've fixed the first part. So the second part is actually getting this reducer. Now, what is a reducer? Right? So a reducer is essentially when we have this data layer, right? So when we have this data layer that we spoke about earlier, a reducer is essentially how we are able to, you see this arrow right here, how are we able to actually dispatch this action into the data layer? Okay, so when I click and add to basket button, so when I click a button like this, how does it then go and dispatch the action into the data layer? And how do I actually go ahead and pull it? Right, so the pulling part is easy, but pushing into it is where the reducer plays a very important part. Okay, so here when we click add to basket, we essentially, all we need to know is what product we're actually adding to the basket, and we're going to shoot it up into the data layer, and it's pretty much going to sit inside the data layer up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to our code, and what we're going to do now is, and I love this, Joshua Thomas still says he is still pumped. Right, that's the energy that we're talking about, guys. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our reducer, and here what we are going to say, so the context API and Redux are not the same thing, but they are the same pattern. Okay, so both use this idea of a store, like basically a global store for your application, and then you basically have this pattern of dispatching actions into this store. And the reducer just listens and says, okay, you just updated a basket. All right, I know what to do. Okay, you just removed an item from the basket. I know what to do. Don't worry. Like, that's what the reducer is doing, okay? So at this point, in order to write the reducer, we need to do the following. So we need to say const reducer, and it takes two things. It takes a state, and that's the state of the application. And then it says the action. Okay, now the action is, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to add to the basket? Are you trying to remove from the basket? What are you trying to do here? Okay, so here what I'm going to say is it takes a switch. Right, now the switch is based on the action.type. Now I will explain this, and everything will make sense with practice, so do not freak out, guys. Okay, so here we're going to say case, and I'm going to say add to basket. Okay, add to basket, like this. And then here I'm going to say return. Right, now this basically means whenever we receive an add to basket action. So remember we talked about this earlier. So oh damn it, I've lost that snippet. Okay, never mind. Remember we spoke about when we sort of would press the add to basket button. So every time I would press the add to basket button, it would dispatch an action with this type, add to basket. Okay, now so the reducer, imagine the reducer is just something that's always listening for a dispatch or something like that. It's always just listening, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to say return. And what we're doing is we're returning whatever the state originally was, but we're going to change the basket. And we're going to say the basket should now be whatever the basket currently was. So whatever it currently was, plus whatever we actually decided to add. So the action dot item that you passed inside of the action, okay? So this will make a lot of sense shortly, okay? Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and actually export the reducer. So we're going to go ahead and export the reducer, and we also want to have something called a default state, okay? So default state. So here I'm going to go ahead and say default return state. Now guys, again, this, you don't need to really know exactly what this does, but at this point we need to go ahead and hook it up, okay? So go up to this reducer, go ahead and control spacebar, auto import, done. Okay, so guys, all you need to do is just copy those steps, and everything will be okay. And you should get to the point where it's a state provider that is not defined, so we need to go ahead and import the state provider as such. So save that. And guys, at this point, if I go ahead and do this, well, now we need to connect our add to basket to basically go ahead and push something inside of the data layer. Okay, so let's go ahead, go to our product, and now inside of our product, when we click this add to basket button, we want to dispatch an add to basket object. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our product, so product.js, and what I'm going to say is when I click the button, so when I on click, I'm going to say add to basket, and this is going to be a function that I'm going to write up here. So I'm going to say const add to basket, like this. Okay, now this will take no arguments, and all it will do is it dispatches an action. Okay, so here we're going to dispatch some action into the data layer, and basically the goal here is saying dispatch the item into the data layer, so we have it. Okay, so just copy and paste it if you need to do that. Okay, now what we're going to do here, guys, is in order to pull information from the data layer, I showed you previously in the when we were setting things up inside of the state provider, that this bottom part that I said you don't have to understand what it does, is it's going to essentially allow you to pull information from the data layer. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say const basket, like this, dispatch, and we're going to say use state value. So I'm going to explain what this does, and basically what we have here is we have the state and we have a dispatch. Okay, now the state we're not too interested in right now, so we can pretty much ignore that. This is basically the state of the global store, and here we have the dispatch. Okay, so the dispatch is going to be how we manipulate the data layer. So here what I'm going to say is dispatch, and then I'm going to say dispatch an item, dispatch an object into the data layer. So this dispatch is like a gun, right? So it essentially allows you to shoot into the data layer. So like shoot an action, like we said, like the arrow that we showed previously. That's what we're going to basically be doing here. So I'm going to say type, and here we're going to say add to basket. Okay, and then the actual item that we're going to push into the data layer is going to be an item with the ID from here. It's going to be, the title is going to be the title that we pushed in over at the top. The image is going to be the image that we passed in as a prop. The price is going to be the price that we passed in as a prop. And also the rating is going to be passed in as the rating at the top. Okay. So what this does now, guys, is we essentially are going to dispatch an add to basket action. Now, the way that we check that this works, okay, is we open up our inspector. We go here. If I click on add to basket, nothing shows. Okay, so let's go over to our reducer. Let's go and make sure that I like to always do a console.log. So let's go ahead and do console.log, and I like to always dispatch the action. Okay, so now if I do add to basket, whoa, we got an add to basket action it dispatched this type of action, so add to basket. So it picked it up on this case statement, and then it said item. And you see what we're doing here is we actually went ahead and said, so I'm just going to go ahead and make this a bit bigger for you guys. So it says change the basket so that the basket is now whatever the basket currently was plus the action.item, and the item is this stuff right here. So this will push the basket into, this will push the item into our basket. So now we should have the actual item inside of our basket. So how can we check? Very simple thing we can do. We can pretty much go ahead, and this is our state right here. We can destructure it and we can say, hang on, get me the basket outside of the state. And all you guys got to do is chuck a console log and say something like this. You can say this is the basket and put something like this. And now guys, look what happens. So you see it says this is the basket on many renders, and we can go ahead and add to basket, and whoa, we had an item in the basket. So now we have this one item in the basket. Okay, that's cool. I go ahead and add a second item. Whoa, okay, now we got 2 items in the basket. Add a third. Now we got 3 items in the basket. So you see, like, this is really powerful stuff. And like, we're basically, all we're doing is we're pushing into the data layer. All right, so so you can use, I saw, why is he using the function instead of fat arrow? Yeah, you can use fat arrows, you can use functions, you can use whatever you want, guys. But yeah, you can pretty much see at this point that you have the 3 items inside of the basket. Okay, and we are almost at the finish line, guys, so stay with me. Okay, we are almost at the finish line for today's session. So if you guys are pumped up and you are ready to do that last final push, I know it's been a while, but come on guys, there's huge prizes here. The prize, even if you didn't win, is essentially getting that final job that you deserve, okay, as a developer. So stay with me, guys. Let's bring up the energy and let's finish strong to that finish line, okay? So what I want to do now is essentially, you see at the top over here where we have this, right? Oh God, oops. Where we have here, right? We have the 0. Now, what I want to do is when we add an item to that basket, we want that to dynamically update, right? I want this to dynamically update like this. Like this is the actual app. It dynamically updates, right? So this is going to be really, really cool to actually go ahead and implement. So we need to actually go ahead and implement this. So let's go ahead and do that. So, and I love it. I can see the energy coming up. This is awesome, right? So let's go ahead and go to our header component. And what we're going to do inside of our header component is we are going to go inside to the top of the function, go to header.js. And as I explained previously, guys, we can pretty much go ahead and do the following. We can use that magic useState value to pull information. This will be the state, right? So we can go ahead and import this. So remember, you need to go ahead and import this at the top. And then you got the state and you got dispatch, okay? Now, we may not use the dispatch in this case, so we don't actually need the dispatch, but I'm going to leave it in there to make it simple for you guys. Now, here we have the 0, okay? So we hard-coded a 0 here. But this is how easy and insanely powerful the React Context API is. What we can do is we can get the basket. Okay, we can get the basket like so. Grab the basket, and then what we can do is we can scroll down, go here, and guys, all I need to do at this point is say basket.length. That's it. That's it, guys. Do that. And what I would recommend is that you put a question mark here, and this is called optional chaining. And what this would mean is that if you for any reason don't have the correct value, or basket becomes undefined due to an error, it won't freak out. It just will gracefully terminate, okay, or gracefully handle the error. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this. Now guys, I think if we go ahead and click add to basket, we should see an update in the corner. But you know, things can go wrong, things can go insanely crazy, everything's not being on our side. So I'm going to make this a bit bigger, and let's just go ahead and pump up the crowd, and let's get everyone sort of anticipated, because I think if we done this right, boom, guys, there we go. Can you see that? If I go ahead and click this in, we're getting, this is the number of items inside that basket, guys. So that is insane. That is awesome. It's working. Okay, like it's working. We go ahead, click it in, and we have the shopping basket stuff here. So this is really, really powerful. Okay, this is really, really powerful stuff. Now, what say, guys, do you want to do, so I'm going to leave this down to you guys. I'm going to ask you guys a question now. So today, what we can do is I can either set you your homework here, and we can build out the remainder of this stuff. So we can build out the remainder of this shopping basket list, right? So we can set the homework and we can build out this list. Or shall we set the homework for today, and shall I show you how the solution to the homework, and then we carry on with the shopping basket today? You guys let me know. Okay, I want to know what you guys think at this point. Go ahead and let me know in the comments right now what you guys want to do. Do you want to build this shopping basket today? This sort of this checkout page functionality where you have even the remove from basket, or should we go ahead and set today's homework and wrap up there, and pretty much we can carry on tomorrow in tomorrow's day 2 of the build? Okay, so we have a lot of people saying set homework, some people saying set homework, redo, so as in redo and carry on with the shopping basket. Somebody says let's finish the game, continue, yeah, basket to homework, homework, continue. Okay, so we have a mix here, guys. Okay, so right. So what I will say, guys, is because it's been a huge stream, okay, it's been a huge stream. If you guys are super excited, tomorrow I'm going to show you how to build that lovely shopping basket that we saw here. Okay, so that lovely shopping basket that we saw over here, I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and build that, right? But today, what the homework is, right? So every day, if you guys want to be a part, if you want to be in this to win the prize that we've set, what we ask is that you go ahead and finish the homework. And we submitted the homework yesterday, which was the portfolio. But today, what we're going to be doing, the challenge for you guys is quite simple, okay? So the challenge for you guys is pretty simple. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to focus on the following for today's homework, okay? So the homework for today is, can you guys build? So we pull in the dynamic information at this point, right? So I showed you guys how to go in, and if you add to the basket, it updates this value over here. Now, can you guys get it to show the number of items over here, so inside the subtotal? And can you also go and actually calculate the price of the items inside the basket? Okay, so that is your homework. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little snippet on the screen right now, and I'll visually show you guys. Oh, I wasn't actually sharing the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Right. So let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So this is going to be today's homework. So I'm going to go ahead and visually demonstrate this. So you can see here, guys, I showed you guys how to go ahead and add the dynamic information over here. So when you actually go ahead and add items to the basket, it actually dynamically updates at the top, right? So it dynamically updates at the top, and we can pretty much see this happen in front of us, okay? Now, what I want you guys to go ahead and do is actually go ahead and for homework, use that solution that I showed you for the header, but go ahead and do the same thing for the subtotal items, so we can see the number of items that get pulled in from our basket, okay? And then the juicy part of the homework is, can you guys then take those items that we have in the basket and actually calculate the total price, okay? Calculate the total price, and the finished result should be a beautiful looking application. So we won't have this for today's build, but that will be part of tomorrow, okay? But now what I want you guys to do is actually go ahead and get this working, okay? So basically once we add a few items to us, I'm going to refresh and show you guys. So let's say we added the Kenwood and the Lean Startup. Go to our basket. It should say 2 items are inside the basket. So it should match up to the top right here. And then it should also say the correct total. That's your homework, guys, for today, right? Now, we are going to drop instructions inside the Facebook group and also inside the Slack channel, right? Now, I'm about to bring on Naz onto the stream, and he's going to talk a bit about the homework, the processes, and what we like to do with the homework. And also, guys, one thing I want to tell you guys is that if you don't get this homework, it's okay, right? It's completely okay. Do not give up, because we have 3 days where we're going to run through everything with you guys, and we're going to show you guys how to go ahead and do all of this stuff. Okay, now we were going to originally ask you to deploy the app as well, but at this point what I think is, if we can get screenshots of this working and everything working on your app, that would be enough for days 1 homework. Okay, hey, we got Nas in the house, guys.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. What is up, Sonny? How you doing?
What's up, Nas? That was an intense debugging, dude, of actual internet problems.
Oh man, oh man. How are you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. The energy today has been insane. Like, we have absolutely crushed it. This is what we built today, dude. So we have, let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see this.
Let's see. Well, are you still live right now?
Yeah, we're still live, dude.
Oh, we're live. Oh, what is up? Holy moly.
Yeah, we are still live, dude. So
What's up, guys? I thought you were just talking to me. I'm like, what? Wait.
yeah, so we are live right now, dude. So we pretty much have the shopping basket over here, and what they did today was they had the Amazon, basically all of the UI, so everything inside the UI, and then we had it so that when you added your items to the basket, it would pop up over here. And their homework for today, so tomorrow I'm going to show them how to actually render out those items on the page, and we used the React Context API, so it was a big build, right? And their homework for today is actually go ahead, and I showed them how to pull the basket information into the header, but they now need to figure out how to pull it into the subtotal, and then how to render the actual amount like this.
Okay. Dude, that's going to be awesome. All right.
Yeah, that's going to
be Guys, you did an amazing job.
Homework.
I mean, honestly, with all the technical problems that we had, you pulled it through, guys. We kept the energy alive, and we're going with this. You can't see me right now? Oh, it's interesting. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Oh, hey, there we go.
Oh. Okay, now you can see me.
We got a lovely donation as well by Imran. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
For sure. Wait, they got the homework? You guys pumped up for the homework?
Let us know, guys, in the comments. Are you ready to smash this homework? Because as soon as this goes down, as soon as this video is finished and it's going to be uploaded so you guys can watch this back in your own time, then get started with that homework either today, tomorrow morning. But be ready. Let us know. And we will submit everything that you guys need inside the Slack channel, inside the Facebook group. So stay tuned and look out for that.
Yeah, and it's extremely important for you guys to go ahead and do the homework, right? Practice makes perfect at the end of the day. So obviously go ahead. If you need to rewatch the videos, rewatch the videos. If you need to go ahead and, simply, rewatch the video, do the homework, and make sure you're ready for tomorrow, day two, man. That's going to be exciting.
It's going to be so exciting, guys. And tomorrow, if you guys want to know what we're doing, we are building the authentication. We're building full login functionality. We are going to build out the remainder of the shopping, the checkout page. So you're going to be able to actually log in and create accounts. And it's going to it's going to dynamically update on the front end and everything like this. You'll have a full login and the user authentication, and everything will be powered by Firebase. And tomorrow we're going to be deploying the app. So today, because it's quite an intense amount of work, Naz, what we said is screenshots we'll do for today, and tomorrow we'll deploy the app. So that'll be really nice.
Nice. Dude, that's insane to be able to do the login like at this point in time. Like first day, guys, the first day, and you already got the login. You got your, your basket. You got, it's all good. You can add to basket. I saw Sonia adding a lot of things to basket. So now he's about to buy a lot of stuff,
That's it, dude.
I saw you adding a lot of what's it called? The maker, the maker of what's it called, bread
Kenwood.
maker or something.
Yeah. Make this
like,
bread,
dang.
dude. I'm gonna get
to make a lot of bread, you know.
I'm gonna get some pink lights in the background, guys. Yeah. I
Well,
need
no,
that.
what'll be cool? We got pink lights. You can get some blue lights, you know.
Yeah,
Like so,
I
like
should-
you got that contrast. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'll get some neon blue lights. That'd be dope. Yeah.
But guys, drop Sunny some fire. He did an amazing job for today. Seriously, right? With all the problems that we had, he killed it. He kept you guys pumped up. I mean, that's what Sunny always does. Papa React. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey.
Somebody in the comments was like, Grandpapa React. I'm like,
Yeah, I
damn.
saw that. I was like, Meban, I think we're having a kid soon. I was like,
Oh my god.
yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Sweet, man.
Yeah.
So,
I think
are we
with
done
that-
at this point?
Yeah, I think with that said, guys, stay tuned and keep an eye on the Slack and the Facebook groups. And like we said, just drop that positivity. The more engaged you are in this challenge, the more points you score. So stay optimistic, stay positive, and help each other out in the Slack community. If you see someone else is stuck and you've solved it, help each other out. Right, it's all part of the challenge.
It's about connecting, guys, right? Connect with each other, right? That's why you have the Slack community. That's why you have Facebook, right? The most important, one of the most valuable things you can get out of this is the connections. It's the people that you get to know and the people that you get, to connect with and become friends with. That is where opportunities and that is where knowledge comes from. I always say that. From Sunny, I know Sunny, you, for example, a lot of your opportunities came from, your friends and your connections, right? Correct?
Yep. Exactly, dude.
Right.
100%.
Same thing for me. All of my opportunities came from connections. Me working with CP came from connections. Everything is from connections, right? So make friends, help people out, and always, of course, get pumped for day 3 or part 2 of Amazon Clone. So I was gonna say Kazi. I'm like, wait, that's not Kazi. Sunny, Sunny, should tell them to go ahead and set an alarm clock for tomorrow. What time?
Yeah, guys, set that alarm clock. Depends what time zone you're in, but we're actually going to be starting on, I think it's 11 a.m. PST, right, Naz?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So I want each of you guys to go into your alarm clocks right now and set a few different alarms. So go ahead,
There we go.
set a few different alarms. I actually set like a bunch of different alarms. So I end up having like 10:45, 10:30. Yeah, literally go ahead and set those alarms right now, guys. Set those alarms right now. Right, so
go right now, literally go right now, and then let us know in the comments below if you've done that. See, I mean, I'm starting like for 7:30, 7:30, 5 o'clock, literally every hour. Make sure you got it in there. Make sure you're here and stay tuned with us next time. And if you're not in the challenge, what should they do, Sunny?
Guys, what are you doing? Hit the link in the description. Sign up to the challenge. If you follow us on socials, the link is in the bio. Just be a part of this challenge. It's never too late, okay? It's never too late. And it doesn't matter if you haven't finished the homework in time. As long as you submit everything before the challenge finishes, it's all good,
Exactly. That is where we respond in the challenge. That's where we respond. That's where everything happens. That's how you can actually win prizes. If you're in the challenge, that's how you can win prizes. If you're on YouTube, that's great. You're watching, but you cannot win prizes. You cannot interact directly with us, right? Yep. That is kind of the downside to that. So very important. Hit that link in description. In the description. Hit the link in the description. Join the challenge. Join the fun. Join the amazing community that we got here. And let's go.
Let's do it. Right, I think with that said, bro, I think we'll wrap up on day 2. It's been an awesome day. We had over 1,500 consecutive live streams. I mean, at one point before the connection issues, we were hitting 3K. So you guys are insane. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, right, Nas?
Yes, in tomorrow's video. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you
in the next one. Peace, guys. See you tomorrow.
Peace out.